for me. I'm awesome. I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, as he says he's excited he can do evaluations, so he must have completed level 2. And he's working on the introduction to Toastmasters mentoring, Halloween confessions. Audience aware, Peter is about to unload a burden he has been carrying for about 10 years. Ooh. Prepare yourself to counsel him through the sins of his past. His aim is to show how a good mentor can impact his protege. Please welcome Peter Anderson, Halloween Confessions.
Thank you. I'm feeling all those sweaty feelings that Terry was talking about. I nearly ran out the door. Well, I'm supposed to be talking about how a mentor has impacted my life, but I have to come clean that that's just not going to happen today. I realize that Toastmasters on Halloween probably comes once every 7 years, and you guys are all my friends. I trust each and every one of you. I feel horrible about something I've done just about 10 years ago, and I need your help to shoulder this burden. It started about 10 years ago. Well, I guess it started a lot longer ago than that. My father, he's kind of a sick man. He's somebody that finds joy and satisfaction in the pain of others. Now, he is an orthopedic surgeon in St. George, and so, granted, he does find satisfaction in cutting people open and fixing their problems, but he's kind of one that preys on the weak constitutions of others. Those poor souls who have phobias of snakes and spiders and mice. He has amassed an incredible collection of rubber snakes, lifelike looking spiders. And at work, he'll sneak a little snake into somebody's handbag and go off about his day. And he might be in the room with a patient when he hears the scream, and he knows he's done a great job. Or the rubber spider the black one, that goes right on the black receiver of the telephone, so that the person answering the telephone doesn't realize they're grabbing a spider until it's too late and they scream. Or the mouse that's just out of the corner of your eye as you're sitting in your chair and you realize it's a mouse that looks so real, and they jump 10 feet into the air. This is the kind of man we're talking about here. Now, I've got a heart of gold, you know that. But I realized one day that I kind of like that. It kind of seems funny to me to see people jump like that. So I thought, I need to try something like this. Now, my Aunt Vicky moved into my parents' house shortly after I got married. She was going to be there for 2 or 3 months, and I was heading over to my parents' house one day for something, and nobody was home. They've got a big home, and she was in the upstairs room in a very big room. And I walk through the garage, and I see Stan just standing there. Now, Stan is a skeleton. He's about this tall, and he's on a hook, just like you would see in a doctor's office. He's missing an arm, which is probably why he was at my parents' house, but it's not that abnormal to have a skeleton if you're an orthopedic surgeon, right? It's not Halloween or anything. Well, I look at Stan, I'm like, Stan, you really need to get some exercise. So I take Stan, and I wheel him into the house, and I take him over to the stairs, and I pick Stan up, and I take him all the way into my Aunt Vicky's room, into her very large shower that's very dark. And I put Stan in the deepest, darkest corner of that large shower. Now, a few hours later, my Aunt Vicky gets home, and I'm not there anymore. But when she's getting ready for bed, she does what everybody in the house does at night, because my parents lived on the top of a mountain, and that mountain was infested with scorpions. And this is a true story. So what we did every night, and what she did, was shut off all the lights. It's pitch black in the room, and she gets out the black light. And every square inch of that room must be covered lest you step on a scorpion with your bare feet. Not a pleasant experience. And you can imagine that her mind is attuned to finding scorpions. And as she goes through the room, into the shower, ah! And she sees bones instead of scorpions, she kicks out and whacks her foot on Stan. Stan is not easily hurt, but he was injured. And she falls back, injuring her foot. And she marches down the stairs with murder in her heart. She goes up to my dad, who she knows did this because she knows his reputation. She stands in front of my dad and gives him the tongue lashing of his life for an unknown period of time. Thankfully, I was not there because I know my nature would have been to confess all my sins before her. But I didn't because I wasn't there. I heard about this later. And she was so angry, she would not accept that my dad had not done this horrible thing. Well, you are probably asking, Peter, you're almost out of time. What are the lessons that you've learned from this? Well, the first lesson is that a mentor needs a good protege. In order to be a great mentor, you need to have a willing protege, just like I was to my dad, who wasn't even aware that he was my mentor in this way. A great mentor needs to be able to show his protege what is possible by the things that he does. His personal experiences will help that protege bridge the gap of what he doesn't know and accomplish greater things than what he thought possible. Now, not every mentor-protege relationship is as successful as mine was. Although I am very, very sorry about what I've done. However, mentors are people that can empower others. They can teach others the way. They can be incredible forces for good and for bad. But in this case, I am just so grateful that you have been here this morning, allowed me to bare my soul to you, and I hope that you all have a wonderful Halloween and that you can help me next to keep that skeleton out of my shower. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go buy some spiders and snakes. And see where I can go with that. Awesome story. Take a moment and